Hello and good evening. Hello, everybody. You are back with the crew. Thanks so much for being here. I am sad to say my guest is not going to be here tonight. Jimmy Valley, as you guys all know, is a man that I've been trying to get on the show for quite some period of time. He and I just texted each other. He's on the East Coast. He was starving. I had not been able to do my homework to the level that I'd like to because the content that he sent me was so dense. I want to do the man justice, and I don't want to do it halfway. And it was really one of those things that it just timing wise, I think it's so much better if I can do the better research and really give you guys what he's what he's been working on in the background that I'm aware of that is really cool. I want to be able to do it justice, and he'll take as much time as we need next week. And I just think it's going to be a better presentation if both of us are on the same page. I had some situations happen today that really got me backed up, but it wouldn't have mattered because I need 2 or 3 nights to go over the content. Okay. I just want you guys to know, I feel bad about it. It was me. It was not Jimmy. Allan needs to do more homework. We're going to call it that. I've never been good at homework, but like it's my favorite thing to do in crypto. But I talked to a lot of people today, so it was fun. I'd rather spend my time on the phone with you guys than doing homework these days, and that's because of the community in which we build here. So I'm gonna do a little monologue, show idea that I had the other day, and I thought, well, I'm going to spring that on him. I also want you guys to go ahead and fill in the show with all those ask me anything AMA kind of night, if you will, and that will really, that always makes for the best shows anyway. So let's go with that. I want to talk tonight. I want to start this show off with one of my favorite subjects. I was listening to somebody the other day, and boy, he really caught the grief of the XRP family, Gary Cardone. And I know he had some pretty negative things to say about XRP and Ripple. I understand where he's coming from. He doesn't understand the coin. He doesn't understand the project. He hasn't done his homework and his due diligence. And I get that because I don't know Pepe coin, and people might blow up my chat and my channel and say, well, how come you don't know anything about Pepe? You should really do the research and you should get into this and this and that. I know it's difficult, guys. It is not easy. In particular, he's not completely not of ownership of XRP. I did feel for the man. He did step in it. And once you step in it, it's really hard to wipe it off the bottom of your boot. You know what I'm saying? Because he really, I was like, man, you shouldn't have said that. Why'd you say that? And why are you new to this? Oh, that's right. He is. He's pretty new. I think he's been in crypto 3 years or 4 years, maybe. And what I'm trying to say by new, that doesn't mean he couldn't have caught up and had incredible amounts of knowledge and more than maybe any of the rest of us. I don't mean it like that. I mean, he's new to the fact that he's a Bitcoin maxi, or was, and now he's bought a few other little coins here and there. But he's primarily focused on the asset of this class. I totally get that. When you're as wealthy as some of these people, they want to play in the big pool. They don't want to play in the little pools. They're not trying to hit home runs, okay? That's not who they are. That's not what they need, and it doesn't make sense to them to do that. I hope you guys get that. Cut the guy some slack. He's an incredible mind. He has an incredible ability to put everyday life experiences into a trading situation where you and I can obtain wisdom from his knowledge of trading massive contracts all around the world. And please don't throw him under the bus. It really just makes us all, in particular the XRP family, like like we're just some petulant children. And listen, can we just please? Can we just? He doesn't know anything about XRP. Is that a death sentence? I know we shouldn't have stuck his boot in it. Today, to this evening, I want to talk about my favorite subject, which is freedom. Freedom is something that I've experienced my entire life. And I'm going to say that in the sense that I grew up as a kid of the 60s. I'm not quite a baby boomer, actually. I just found that out recently. I'm 2 weeks into being Gen X. So there you go. Anyway, I always thought I was a baby boomer. But anyway, I know some of you, my IQ just jumped up on that revelation. But when I grew up as a kid, there was 3 or 4 kids older than me in my family. I come from a family of 5. Well, there's a big gap between me and the older 3. And essentially my parents, my mom in particular, was done with kids. She was, decided that, cigarettes, a cup of coffee in the morning, and, a bottle of vodka in the evening kind of made more sense than raising kids. Love you, Mom. I don't mean anything disrespect. It was just kind of the social scene in which she lived in, and I get it. And it was a different era. Smoking Marlboros with 5 kids in the car, no seatbelts, was just common practice, right? Spanking kids and all the rest of it. I grew up in that. So basically, I never had a leash. Like, I never really, after the age of about 4 or 5, off you go. Get on your bike, go out and play in the woods, go do whatever you do. Just don't get run over by a car. That was it. That was basically the only rules. It's a beautiful way to grow up. It's a level of freedom that you can't explain to people unless you lived like that. Now, it was one of my favorite things about being a yacht captain and being able to travel the world is see other countries and societies and the way they do things. That's how almost every country does it. I mean, other than maybe the Western world, and I don't know, but most, I don't even like the term third world, but those people, kids are just kind of running around doing their program. It's just like they are, skinning their knee and picking up a rock and making a game with a stick and a simple ball or whatever. It's beautiful to see when you live in other countries. So I grew up with that freedom. And I know Mr. Trump did as well. So I know that he has a sense of that within him. I'm not trying to make this a political video whatsoever, but there's a lot of people who don't want you to have certain said freedoms. Otherwise, they would not come after your First Amendment right the way they have. They've come after our freedoms. And now I want to discuss what freedom means to you. Freedom to me means I have the freedom to say whatever I feel like saying. I don't have that, unfortunately, on this platform. I'm not sure that I would say too many things differently. But it would be nice to have. So freedom to me really means it's not up to me to tell you how to live your life. That's my favorite freedom of all. It's okay if you believe in the exact opposite thing that I believe in. Just don't tell me I can't think or believe in what I believe in. Okay? Because that then becomes the issue. And I believe that all 8 billion of us have that freedom. I believe that all 8 billion of us are so free. And I really believe this. I believe that we're all so free that we can choose bondage or slavery or mental slavery, or work slavery, or life slavery, or marriage slavery, relationship slavery. And I don't use that term lightly. We encapsulate ourselves through our own minds. We enslave ourselves. No disrespect to the slave days. I'm using it as a general term here. People lose themselves in the issues they deem important. That is unacceptable. Right? That's unacceptable to me. If you've lost yourself in an issue that doesn't affect your daily life or your life experience, and you found it to be so threatening, although it doesn't affect you in any manner, and yet you're willing to quarrel or argue or fight with another individual, online in particular, over that, then you're no longer free in your own soul. I hope that makes sense. You've incarcerated or captured the space between your ears in a way that, well, let's just say it brings anxiety, fear, indecision. It doesn't allow you to have clarity or true discernment, right? Just a few thoughts for you guys to think about on that. Okay. I had a video come out this morning, and those of you on Patreon, you can get my video the night before, almost always, commercial free. And if you go to my Patreon, you can check me out there, and it's free if you deem it not worthy of payment. I truly understand that. I on that video that I talked about today, I had a three-way conversation, and now I'm going to get into the meat of what that was about. See, those monologues I can't really sit down and talk about like what I'm about to talk about now. A gentleman said to me a long time ago, 5-6 years ago, I don't know why you keep talking to me about this crypto thing. He's a very well-to-do. He's a great man. He has no experience in crypto, but he's very brilliant, man. Mathematically, just spot on. He's in his late 80s, by the way, and just sharp as a tack. One of the smarter men I've ever met in my lifetime. And by the way, that's probably the biggest blessing I've ever had in my lifetime is the people I've met with a high IQ. The men and women that I've surrounded myself with throughout my lifetime of a higher level of intelligence is second to, like, I don't know anybody else that's had a life experience like that. Partially because of what I do for a living, right? But there's some really, really smart people out there. Yeah, amazing. And I love when I'm not the smartest person in the room. That's my favorite room to be in, right? So when I spoke with this man 4 or 5 years ago, I guess it's been now, and I tried to get him to understand the math of crypto. He didn't get it. He doesn't get it. Okay? Didn't get it. About a year ago, he finally got Bitcoin. And he said, Allan, I don't even understand why you didn't press me harder on this. Why did you not insist that I do more to learn about crypto? And I said, well, everybody finds that at their own pace. And it's not for me. I took you to the water. I showed you, you were a thirsty horse. You just weren't thirsty enough to drink. I took you to the water a dozen times, to the point where I used to upset you and you used to tell me that you were going to hang the phone up. Okay. The hardest people to change their minds about what's coming are wealthy. I've talked about this many times on my show. They don't get it because they don't have to. They don't need to become wealthy. It's not their goal any longer. They've become wealthy. They now need to retain the wealth in which they've become. This is a concept that I talk about on this show a lot, but you're about to be those kind of people if you're in crypto. And I've seen the bags you people have. Don't kid yourself. You nailed this trade. You've crushed the future networking of mankind. You're out ahead of this. There are brilliant people that I just told you about who are just coming to understand the network effect that you understand. That makes you a whole new level of brilliant. I hope you understand that. It doesn't mean that you're smarter than these people. It simply means that there was a light, there was a brilliance, there was something in the energy in which you were capable of not just following the rest of the chickens. You led your own way to knowledge, far better knowledge than this channel. You found and discovered people that taught you in a manner in which you could grasp concept of something so significant to the future of mankind that it's going to blow the next generation's minds. I don't use those words to hyperbole or to hike your skirt. I'm not trying to be your guru or anything like that. I'm telling you, I've seen this play out before. This is a play that I've been a part of in numerous different waves. Real estate, tech, Wi-Fi. I've been a part of massive opportunities such as the one before you. I've never seen anything like this. And that's the discussion we had, was trying to explain what's coming to a man who just now understands Bitcoin. The other banker, not even a banker, he's a Goldman guy, is a broker. He's not even a broker. He moves money around the planet. That man is still on the edge of trying to fully grasp what XRP even does, okay? But here's Mr. Bitcoin guy of just a few months back who finally gets it, telling me that I've bought the wrong coin by buying XRP, when it took him years to catch up with the fact of the logic of even understanding the white paper and the Bitcoin. And now he's telling me I have the wrong coin in XRP. I just got off the phone with a good friend of the channel, Trini. Love you, brother. I'll see you in Vegas. I was telling him this guy's trying to tell me that when he called me the other night, he can't believe XRP went up. See, he had that. He's locked in on the knowledge of what, and most XRP people don't even understand Bitcoin. They really don't. I'm sorry. Most of you don't. You just don't get it. And I get that. It's a totally different animal. They're not even remotely similar. He's just locked in on Bitcoin. He can't understand. I don't get it. I don't know why it's going up. It's just going to crash. It's a pump and dump. It's a rug pull pump and dump, Allan. It's a meme coin, is what he was trying to explain to me. Here's a man who spent his life in finance. and cannot grasp what Ripple and XRP and RLUSD are doing to the banking world with on-demand liquidity. How is that even remotely possible, right? How can a man of that knowledge, I'm telling you, the man has at least 30% more IQ than the man before you. And in banking. And I've discussed the movement of money and how it has to obtain the value of said item being transferred across the planet, becoming something on the other end, which was why Jimmy was coming here tonight to really help us get into that. And I wanted this man to watch this show tonight. But next Thursday, Jimmy will be here. How does a man know that much about the movement of the world's global liquidity necessity that keeps this whole economic system spinning and not be able to wrap his head around XRP? It's crazy. It's crazy the times we live in. Can you, like, it? I don't understand crypto anymore. You would think a man who basically spends his, 4 to 8 hours a day minimum. I'm telling you guys, minimum of 4 to 8 hours every day, including Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day, for the last 8 years discussing crypto, racking it through my mind, educating myself to it, knowing not all the different programs, but the different use case utility. Excuse me. And I don't get it. I've never seen an asset class like this. It's almost sort of like a biblical plan, if you will, about how, God rained down and said, okay, well, everybody's going to speak a different language because I don't want them to all communicate on the same level and concept. Therefore, all these coins can grow massive without the other coin's knowledge. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like this. And yet every day it gets put in my face. And every day when I see nation states adopting crypto and adopting the system and working with these products and integrating into their banking system, and when those banking systems get it and they move money around for virtually nothing, and they're currently using Cobalt, guys. I think it was written in the 60s. And they're living with it. They're living with the ignorance of rubbing two stones together, essentially, technologically, in the world in which we live today. The adoption from the top down is baffling. It's just absolutely beyond me. And now we have this abundance of better idea, entrepreneur, people who understand code, teaching the people who are so set in their ways they can't tell the difference between a Bitcoin and an XRP. They don't know, can't. Like, how is that even remotely possible in the world we live today? It's beyond this man's knowledge level. I can't even. Every day I deal with it. Every day. And I speak to some people, and you've been there. Your husband or your wife is absolutely oblivious to anything you know about crypto. Completely in the dark. Like I talked to, and I'm not trying to promote this whatsoever because I really believe a couple should really share basically everything in their lives together, but almost to a person, anybody, and it's not, I'm going to tell you ladies something. I love you ladies for number one. I'm blown away at how many women follow this channel only because I know the numbers in crypto. It's like at least 90-10, but on this channel, I have way more than that. Way more, a higher ratio. I love that. It's awesome. They don't tell their husbands that they own crypto and vice versa, obviously. And they're like, oh, I could never tell my spouse. If I told them what we really had, they just, let's just sell it all. What's the matter with you? Do the right thing. What is the right thing anyway? Is the right thing what the television told you to do? Since when is the television, okay, ever told you to do anything that was worth a damn? Is that cussing? Did I just cuss? Is it damn? I don't know. Somebody put it down below. Is damn cussing? I guess it might be. Yeah, anyway. When have they ever given you a good idea on the television? I'm waiting. Could be a while, especially on the evening news. Cutting information. Here we go. We've got the on Bloomberg. I don't watch any of that stuff, but I get them sent to me every now and then. I'm watching this panel try and tell me what money is, what currency is, and how crypto is just not going to work for that. And I'm like, I heard Ray Dalio say that over a decade now. The finest mathematicians in the world don't study crypto for any more than 50 hours and stop and go, this is what I thought. Throw that in the dumpster. That's worthless to mankind. That's never occurred. The only people that are talking out their tailpipe, that might be a curse word. I don't know how tough we are here. Are people that have never done any research. Somebody sent me this episode with I don't even know what it is, Turks or Young Turks or somebody like that, or some blowhard that was talking about crypto. And I was like, this man has no clue. Or did he know exactly what's going on and he had a political agenda? Gee, don't confuse those two things. That's the world we live in today. Every writer has somebody critiquing everything they've written. Think about this, guys, in particular in the media and the print. Everything they've written, every storyline has an editor that only has the commercial company that paid them in mind. They don't ever have you in mind. They have the needs of the financial wherewithal that's paying for the writing that's being done. And the beautiful thing about the world that we live in particular crypto, but in particular the social media in which you're listening to me on now, I don't have to convince an editor or the 7 or 10 largest companies in the world to endorse me or endorse my product or endorse your crypto or endorse some guy in his basement that's got a brilliant code in his head and he's changing the world with it. We no longer have to beg, borrow, and steal to get an article written in a magazine or a newspaper or some lame TV show to where somebody thinks they're going to do the right thing and write a real article, which the editor just says, nope, no, too objective, not enough slant. We need more slant that says exactly what the people who paid for our checks want written is the world in which we live in. You see where I went with that whole freedom thing? We don't have freedom in the media. Freedom comes from the lack of regulation. Don't make me say it one more time on this channel. If I listen to one more YouTuber tell me all we need is regulations to get our crypto out there, I'm going to lose it. Regulations mean manipulation, means advertisers, means editors, means unfairly written for you and I's best interest. That's exactly what that means. Don't make me explain that to you. If you don't understand that, what rock are you living under? If you think that the European Union or the three-letter agencies have your best interest in mind, I don't know what you're paying attention to. I have no idea where your mind's at. That is not the evidence. There is absolutely no evidence of that's what their intentions are, is your best interest. I don't care what they say. That's the proof. You judge a man by his actions, by the connection that you have with those people, the sincerity of their message and their knowledge and their belief in their fellow mankind. There's nothing that leads me my entire life long, 64 years young, I might add, that I have ever pointed back and said, yeah, that NBC, CBS, those news outlets, they really were looking out for our best interest. No, I'm sorry. Nope. Wrong. Not happening. It's never been their idea. So something organically, believe Satoshi's a person or not, I don't really care. But it wasn't just Satoshi. David Schwartz and many other people that were coming along that said, you know what, I've got a better idea. And in fact, I think I can make it work. In fact, I can actually make a system that will be a better playing chessboard than chess itself. I can help the people, again, I'm going to use that term, third world, those people who are less able to get connected to a banking system, an ability to transact with the rest of us on real time. And real time is the key, guys. I don't want to get into that, but you couldn't create Bitcoin without real time. You needed to know that now meant now, no matter where you were in the world. And we weren't there yet. But as soon as we were, we did. The system, the banking corruption, clearly you can't use any other word, because I've used the words, Caitlin Long, talks about this all the time, and she's absolutely true. Less than 1% of the world's banking is owned by a minority. Yeah, that's right. And I'm not throwing white folk under the bus here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a good old boys club that was created a very long time ago. And now less than 1% of that is female. How can that be anything but corruption? How can How can that? There's no other field other even than the exclusive clubs now don't allow that. Yet the banking system in which you and I have told since we're little kids to put your check into is run like that. That sounds fair to me. Yeah, sure. That sounds like freedom and fair to all. No. People like David Schwartz and great, brilliant minds like his came up and said, I'm going to create a coin and I'm going to create a system and I'm going to beat that system. And now I hear people tell me that I need the system for the honesty of the future of crypto. No, that's not what this system needs. The system needs us. The network effect, use case, who's using it and to what advantage. And it must be clear who's advantaging. Where is the advantage? These market makers are brilliant. You and I are going to get stinking rich with market makers because it's the middleman. We're cutting out the bank corrupt middleman, and we're creating a new digital now time all around the world AMAs. Market makers, completely automated, that you get to plug into. No bias. Simply, who needs liquidity? Who can be the grease? Anybody can be the grease. Not a system that, if you own more coins than the other guy, you get more votes. No. We're not doing that. I'm talking about totally automated. I'm talking about nondescript. Nobody can change it. Nobody can stop it. And nobody can control it. That's freedom, my friends, in this man's world. Doesn't have to be your world. You don't have to believe in anything that I believe in as being fair. Fair is a concept that is individual. And my opinion doesn't have to be your opinion. Again, I'm not your guru. I'm simply a man who's did a bit of research and known a few people in his lifetime to come up with my own assessments, my own discernment, and my own passion and love for all my fellow man, all of mankind. That's the man before you. It's important to me. Doesn't have to be important to you. That's okay. That's true freedom. But for this man, I'm not even saying take the power from the Almighty and give it to the little guy. I'm just saying all power be gone and all power be to the individual. And I'm talking about each individual's own phone, laptop, network. We can strive in a network effect, and we will. And there's nothing slowing us down, except for regulation. Oh boy, my favorite topic. If you want regulation, good luck with that. Because you don't understand the level of tyranny that can happen with a blockchain. Because this blockchain now says this is the truth on that fact and it can't be changed. It's in the chain. Gee, where could that possibly go wrong? This is your time. This is your time to make a difference in the world. You're about to be the new financial wealth of the world. And I'm talking about all of you. You're about to make a significant change and difference on the face of this planet. And it's up to you what you think you deserve or the world deserves, in your opinion. Because it's time we get to make a difference, not them. We are the future. You already are the future. You just don't know it yet. And this, I know, a bit of a heavy conversation here tonight. I just don't understand people that simply say, I'm willing to bow down to the system so long as I become wealthy. No, that's debt slavery. Do you understand? You need to stay free, my friend. You need to become an island. You need to be your own creative universe. When you take a 9-to-5 job with benefits, your upside is limited. You don't want that. I don't want upside limitations for any man. That incarceration of the debt slavery is the wheel in which we've all been shown to since the Industrial Revolution. But like I like to talk about, we're in the new revolution. We're in the electronic, digital, decentralized revolution that is happening now. And you're why it's happening. And it's been able to be spread sideways around the world instead of just corruptively one building in Manhattan or somewhere. It's you are all those beacons of light around the face of this planet that is so integral part of the way this world is going. And you're going to be legend. I know you don't see yourself that way. And I know you don't get it yet. But to a person I talked to about, oh, well, Allan, I'm considering one of these trusts. I think you're right, because I think we're going to end up with a lot of money here. So I think I should get a trust, or how do I hide it? Or how do I deal with this taxation of this whole stuff? Brilliant. Great question. And we're here to help a lot of people in that category for sure. It's bigger than that. Don't sell. To a person, all of you say to me, I don't care what I do, Allan. I just don't ever want to sell all my coins. Do you know I said that since 2016, and people used to look at me sideways and cross-eyed, like, why would you not sell all of your Bitcoin? Why would you not sell all of your XRP? What's the matter with you? Why wouldn't you do that? Because it's bigger than fiat. That's why. That money, dollar, I don't care what nation you live in, isn't worth the paper it's on. And you and I know that. Because that's their coin. That's Caesar's money. That's not the people's money. The people's money is our network. We are the future of the network. And the strength of that future is built on the coins in which you refuse to sell. Like everybody I speak with today tells me the same thing. Oh, Allan, well, I want to do an exit strategy so long as I get to keep at least half of my coins. Nobody said that. No one in crypto said that 3-4 years ago. All of you say that now. I don't know who you've been listening to, but keep doing it. That we have to keep a percentage of the network diversified, decentralized, Web3 has to stay that way. Because when all those coins get centralized in something like BlackRock, you and I are in big trouble. We don't want that. Okay? So the sooner we can borrow against our coins, or it's the sooner we can use our coins to make more digits that we need to pay our bills, not crypto, you are in a better world. And it's absolutely happening now, guys. It's happening now because you're making it happen. I was talking about a strategy that I did many years ago, but it bears repeat right now. You say, well, gosh, Allan, XRP went up 10 times. I 10x'd. I want to pull my money out. Okay. All right. Pull some money out. But you better keep some of those coins. And I'm going to even tell you a strategy. This will help a lot of you out. This will help you sleep, okay? If you keep at least, I'm just going to use a round number. Let's say you have 10,000 coins, right? And you keep the last 2,500 and the market crashes and they go back down to whatever. I'm going to say XRP back to 50 cents after it went to $15. Oh my God, Allan, went all the way down to 50 cents again, and now I have to wait for those 2,500 coins to come back. And I don't have the time. I don't want to wait. Perfect. Good for you. Here's your strategy. Those top 25 coins, you sell them at the bottom. Oh, it's down 90%, Allan. Sell. And buy them back immediately. You've taken a 90% devaluation. Now you got right back in, and now you're back in at 50 cents with your whole 2,500 coins. Yet you get to write the losses off. And you're right back in at the bottom again. That's why you keep all your coins. That's why you keep as many as you possibly can. In particular, if you're under the age of 50. I mean, doggone, I don't know. This is going places, as you all know. Okay. I have two more things that I want to rant about. First of all, hit me with some great questions here. I want to get a couple of those before I go. I do have a hard stop at an hour. Okay. The thing that I just read recently, and somebody sent it to me, and I thought it was a brilliant evaluation of global nations and what they're doing with crypto. And I'm going to paraphrase the entire thing. I absolutely love this concept. The war that's happening, is, the banks are, we already know the central banks own gold up to here. They're full of gold. So now some people are talking about selling some of the gold and buying Bitcoin, the new digital gold. Let's remember, if you don't follow Bitcoin or it's not your thing, let me just say what it is, and then you can disagree and then prove me wrong somewhere. Gold is essentially gold that has to be stored in a vault, has so much security risk because people like to walk away with it. Bitcoin is essentially a vault filled with your money in it that you get to take the vault anywhere in the world that you feel like going, like that. Done. I can go anywhere in the world I want with my vault full of gold. That's what Bitcoin is. That's what nations figured out. You can't come and just steal another nation's Bitcoin. It's not that easy. That's what they understood. But it's also the contract that when a Bitcoin is sold, any percentage of a Bitcoin, it's calculated every 10 minutes and audited by the largest computing network in the world. That's the network effect that I keep talking about. That's the strength, the backbone, all those nodes, all those computers, all in agreement every 10 minutes as to who owns what coin and how many of each one of them. Audit every 10 minutes. Do you know how brilliant that is? Do you know how unstoppable that is? Is so long as enough network effect people believe that it's what we need. That's real. That's the vault. It also has a paper trail, if you will, a contract, a place and time that says this timestamp block, 10-minute block, 2 years ago, this is who owned what. How are you going to go back in time and get back into that block and say, oh, no, Russia owns way more than that because of that block. We're going to corrupt it. They can't. They understood this. They get it now. So the concept, you don't have to like Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. What you have to do is the concept is code has become real. They can no longer, oh, well, it's not real unless you can hold that bar in your hand. Once they got there, the nation states got there, the future is there. It's no longer with the rock. Its code is real. There's nothing more real than code. People tell me that oh, it's not real. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So like when you're stuck somewhere in the middle and you're trapped and you can't get out and you call with your phone to somebody who can help you, that's not real? Of course it's real. It's magical real. Of course it's real. This is the time to be alive. You've never been in a time like this. And I know we're going to talk about Trump here for a minute. Those of you who don't like the man, it doesn't matter at this point what you like. It truly just doesn't matter. If you're in crypto, what that man is about to do is open the corruption that is regulation. He's about to say, you know what? That's not the most efficient way to do business. Listen to what that sentence is. That's not efficient. Do you know how important creating a committee of efficiency, how desperately needed that's been in our governments? All of them. Maybe for the first time we can let's see, corruption or efficiency. Which one might work out better for the little people? If they can pull this off, what is the most efficient thing they can present to all mankind? Is it a gold bar? No. Is it a dollar bill? No. Is it digits on your phone? Yep. That's what it is. Only we need digits on your phone that are limited in number, such as XRP, such as Bitcoin. This is the math that is starting on the clock now. The math, this calculation of this every 4 years is going to be less significant in this man's opinion. We are in the midst of a super cycle. I've done the research. I've looked at, I'm calling it what it is. Are there going to be downturns? Of course. The downturns will come. They have to come. It's market cycle. It's sentiment in the market. It's people people contract and they start thinking, oh, well, I better save some of that. And, oh, yeah, I better put some away or whatever it might be. stable coin or whatever, getting out of my coin to get into stable coin or whatever the deal is. There's contractions in all healthy markets. But my point is, when you sell your coin, like people the other day, like, wow, I should have sold at 280 and I should have got back in at 190 for XRP, please do yourself a favor, okay? Don't go there. Don't go there in your head. We're there, guys. We're at the point where freedom meets technology, meets use case, meets network effect, meets government. Doesn't matter what the bank thinks. Doesn't matter what the media, who's the puppet of the bank, thinks. Doesn't matter what my 80-year-old friend says about Bitcoin or XRP or anything else. He now knows. Give you a little story. He went, this is something we were going to talk about tonight with Jimmy. He went, his first purchase of crypto was $5 million. His second one was over 10 times that. People, in particular wealthy people, who get the equation that you understand that I talked about in the beginning of this video, when they get this and they're getting it at such an accelerated rate, the amount of money that they're going to, you and I need to scrape money together. They're going to pull market money from market makers. And the market makers, this is a point I want you guys to understand, are going to transfer from bringing their liquidity to from the market of gold, stocks, bonds, real estate to a crypto you own, because the new market maker understands the liquidity is in transactional time and the amount of billions of transactions per minute that's going around the world, and they're scraping tenths of pennies off trades, is the future, and they get it. And when the big guys come to play, and they're currently coming to play, because I haven't even mentioned the other guy, Mr. Goldman, of the three-way conversation. I'm going to end this video with what he had to say. See, he equated the entire thing for all these years to the dot-com bubble. And I told him a million times, if I told him once, it's not a bubble. The bubble is an impossibility with crypto. And he laughed. Of course it's in a bubble, Allan. This is ridiculous. Bitcoin's $100,000. It makes no sense. You created it out of nothing. Yeah. Those people are not your enemy. Those people are your exit liquidity. That's who those people are. Because they'll get what you got, and once they get it, they're out. They're out of the tri-fi system because they're smart enough to know what you know. And he, Mr. Goldman, now gets it. When I explained DeFi to him in a lengthy process, he said, well, that's not legal. And I was like, well, tell the internet that. And good luck stopping it. I see how successful you guys have been at stopping Bitcoin. Yeah, because of just drug users. Mr. Blowhard on 60 Minutes of the SEC, that guy should be incarcerated for the ignorance he spread on that television show. You're a liar, sir. You lied, and you knew you lied to the people. You intentionally told many lies. And I don't mean just lies in the sense of a half-truth. He flat out lied. And he, too, shall pass. He has no future in the markets going forward, because he doesn't work for you and I. And you and I are the future network. And the network will slowly surpass all of those dinosaurs. They're done for. They're dead already. Nobody's told them. They think they're going to be able to control this. I'm sorry for you and your covered wagon, but the automobile's coming, and it's here. And everybody in this chat knows what it is. And you are done for. There's no solution for them. Their only hope is to regulate it to get to be part of it. There is no end game success for them in a war against this technology. They're done for. I mean, it's comical, really. I've never seen anything like it, ever. I've never seen people take a side and lose themselves fighting against something they haven't researched and don't know anything about, and then putting a stake in the ground and saying, well, my will matters. My will, and I own this world, and I'm more important than the world and the desires of all mankind, and I'm more important than technology, and I'll outsmart it. No, you won't. You're done. You don't know it yet, but you're absolutely done. There's not a single economist that's done any study that actually can look their wives and family in the eyes and go, well, I missed that. How did you miss the biggest trade in the history of man? How did you miss that? I got truck drivers driving around this great country of ours that know 10 times more than the greatest so-called greatest economists in our country. They know 10 times more about money than they do. Why? Because they can only see their vision in front of them. They have no ability to put themselves in the shoes of the poor or the needs of the common everyday man. Shame on all of you. You're all losing to the greater good of all mankind. And in that, I ask you to please retain some of your wallet. Please. We need you for the network effect. And you need to, when you become very wealthy from this, and you will, you need to stress that to your children, that we cannot give them all the gold. We cannot give them the ability to say that they have $1 million when they don't in the banking system that currently we live under. If it's not on your blockchain, you don't own it. And no more double spend or rehypothecation. Those words will no longer exist in the future of a blockchain world. And thank the Lord above for that. And you are the reason why. I love it. It's so incredible to be a part of all of you in this time that we all live. It's amazing. And we're all blessed. And I'm so happy for all of you that you've been in this as long as you have. And the newcomers, stick around. I'm not really a new channel. You kind of really got to be somewhat financial savvy to kind of follow a lot of this. But I mean, tonight's sermon was a little different angle. I didn't mean to start preaching to everybody. I've got a couple of questions here, and then I'm going to try and get out of here. I've got to get out. Ooh, I'm already late. Okay. What do we got here? Somebody actually followed the rules. Will you please do a utilizing cold wallet and Faraday shows? Yeah. That's a big one, man. I totally agree. That's a big deal. And I think it's important that you store your stuff as efficiently and effectively as possible. I also think, I know, and you're probably not going to like this answer, there's a lot to be said for some of the firms out there, such as Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown are the future. That kind of stuff, that kind of brokerage is where they're all going. Yeah. What do I think about HBAR and XLM? Thanks, Joseph. I love HBAR, and I'll leave it at that. I don't dislike XLM. I had Stellar Lumen back in the day. I still think there's a lot to it. I think it's going to be useful, and I certainly think there's going to be a lot of people make a whole lot of money out of it. Put it like that. Full disclosure, I don't own any more of it. That doesn't mean I don't like the project. I didn't. Hopefully you didn't hear me say that, because it's not what I said. I don't own it because I own 30 other coins, and I don't know. I sold it for something else. I love XDC. Let me just run through these real quick, since you guys have listened to me preach all night here. In order from top to bottom, not necessarily in importance, I really like these coins. Okay, I like Bitcoin a lot. I love XRP. I love Cardano, and I love everything about XRP and Cardano. I think those two are inseparable in so many different ways. And that's all to be played for. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's really important with those. If those two guys can do more work together, and I know they're working on RLUSD, and I know all that. I'm a big fan of those projects. I really love what Theta does and the way Theta does it. I'm such a huge fan of that entire Theta network. I can't say enough about it. I'm a huge fan of Chainlink and VChain, HBAR, XDC. I like all of them, Algorand. I mean, there's so many of these coins that they're going to be in your future. They're here now, and they're not going anywhere. If I didn't mention your coin, trust me, those are really my top kind of ones that I think about a lot and that I have. And I know I'm missing 20 other coins, because I do have 30 coins. I'm not kidding you. I'm not sleeping on Litecoin, or I believe it or not, I know I'm the only guy probably in this whole room that likes Bitcoin Cash. I like it for different reasons. One night I'll do a Bitcoin Cash show, and you guys can, tune out early. But there's a lot about that coin that I think a lot of people are overlooking, and Litecoin as well. I'm a huge fan of proof of work. I think I got to say this because it's so comical. The whole system, in particular politicians, over the last 5 years have been telling all of us, oh, that proof of work, it just uses way too much electricity, and you guys are out of your mind, and it's not sustainable, and we can't do any of that because it's going to kill mankind, because it uses the same amount of electricity to mine a Bitcoin as it does the state of Rhode Island. And then AI came along, and they went, oh, gee, by the way, it uses 40 times more on the data networks that AI needs to go forward. We should start building as many nuclear power plants for our little AI toy. Yeah, that happened in the last 5 years. Just so you know, right? They didn't like one thing, Oh, but they love this other controlling item and this AI, and we can manipulate the system through this new technology. Oh, it doesn't matter how much electricity that needs, now does it? Why, you hypocrites, huh? What's the matter with you people out there? You think we weren't going to notice that? You think that we weren't going to figure out what you're talking about here now? Come on, people. All right. The best resources, honestly, it's so hard, guys. It really is hard. There used to be so many more great news networks. The ones now I'm not a big fan of. I really loved. Unfortunately, most of the great channels, in my opinion, are Bitcoin based. They're a little bit more logical, and they're a whole lot better on keeping up with their actual network. And then the other best ones, in my opinion, by far, are most of the XRP channels. The XRP channels by far do the most digging and research and really get into things. Exhibit 1 is the movie, and great. And there's just more content. I mean, when you have Ripple and 900 employees going around the world talking to banking systems and the future of, ISO, there's more content for XRP and knowledge to be learned. So those are kind of the resources if you want to stay with YouTube. Written network, I don't trust any of it. I don't really read any great articles. I do get sent stuff by I think I'm up to about like 10 different people that regularly send me great written content that is objective. This is key, guys. And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. Media journalists used to be objective, and they used to say, look, here's point, counterpoint, like a debate. This side, that side. Here's this side, and here's why maybe this won't work. Doesn't exist anymore. Everything has a slant and an agenda. And that tells you, when you're reading an article and it's only one way against something or for something, just remember, keep that in the back of your mind. What will be the best way to make money with our coins? DeFi is coming, guys. DeFi is here. It's going to be safe. It's going to be sound. You're going to be able to make a lot of money with it. There are people making a lot of money. I don't want to promote any of it at this point because that hasn't been deemed by Wall Street to be fair and honest. So I don't know when they're going to come along with a wrecking ball and close down and take your coins like they have in the past. So until we get a little more clarity in that, or other nation states that aren't run by three-letter agencies that are part of the situation. Why not keep hodling if you believe that crypto is the future at a higher price? Yes, on my 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, you should keep hodling. Yeah, you should. But you have to remember, there's many of us that I've been buying coins since 2016, and I don't sell my coins. You might imagine that I have quite a bag. Now, I don't care to be rich. I've lived my whole life wealthy, mainly because between here has been clear and loving. That's my wealth. My love for my fellow man keeps me beyond the need of a fancy house or, a fast car or a big white boat. I've lived a lot of life, and the one thing I've really realized in that lifetime is the only thing that matters really to me is my love for fellow man. It's the most important thing you can do with your day. And I learned that numerous times in my life. And every time I go through that in my head, people always think, oh, well, what a waste of a day. You know, you could have mowed the lawn or you could have done this. No, I communicate with people. I call you on the phone. I hear the love and the passion in your voice. I get to hear about your families and your kids and the benevolent, beautiful things that you plan on doing with your wealth. That's beauty. That can you think of a better day? Can you think of a man who's 64 years old that has a better life than listening to you tell me that when XRP gets to $5 or $50 or whatever it might be, that you're going to open up? Let's see. Today I heard his wife wants to open up for teenage kids to get them off the street and have a place for them to go. I just heard that today. I have a man that has an autistic child. I spoke with him today. He can't wait to get a trust so he can set his son up for life, even after he's gone. Like, that's who I talk to every day. That's the people that listen to this channel. That's the people that own crypto. You know, that 5-10 years ago, crypto used to be full about, let's buy a Ferrari and a Lambo. It's not that anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's just my channel. I hope. Maybe I'm touching beautiful souls and benevolent people and you resonate with that. But I'm telling you, I get to speak with people who have love in their heart. Did I attract that? Yeah. Did I hope for that? Yeah. Do I pray about it? Yeah. Do I encourage that in my life? Always. It's no surprise that it's coming to me. Wealth, yeah, great. People with love in their hearts are coming to me. Do you understand that? Like, I still get people that ask me, why do you do it, Allan? Why do you do these channels? I had somebody ask me that at Thanksgiving dinner. I almost wanted to cry when I was telling the story why I do it. It's bigger than what you get from life. You know what I mean? It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the objects you get to purchase. You know what I mean? It's like, man, not everybody lives like that, I know, but all of us have moments in the day where we have those feelings. I like to live as many moments of my day in that love of energy. And yes, thanks, Joanna, that service to humanity. It's not service. It's a term. It's the appreciation of humanity. Doesn't get any better. I'm sorry, man. You can do a lot of things with this lifetime. You can do whatever you want to do. Like I said, you're free. But hearing the love and the passion in your fellow man on the phone and talking to them about what's going on in their life and their kids and their hopes and their dreams. Hopes, dreams, and creativity is the key to the kingdom of God, period. The betterment of all mankind. Wow. I'm good with that one. We're good there. I love it. I absolutely, if somebody would have told me that I could have a channel, and by the way, I don't need any more subscribers. I go over this a lot. I'm good. We're good. This is a tight team. We can handle this. Because I want to I want to know all of you. And if it gets too big, I can't. How am I supposed to do that in one man's lifetime? Let's kind of keep this to ourselves. Can we? Can we just kind of keep it between you and I? That'd be awesome. But I know there's a lot of loving souls out there that want to come in too. So I'm good with that as well. Guys, I've been babbling and rambling along. I have I know it's probably, since you guys follow my content, it's probably a better show just having me speak all night. But I hope that's not the case. I have Jimmy Valley. I'm going to be better prepared next week. We are going to do a show together. And in particular, if you own crypto, pretty much of any kind, but in particular XRP, please don't miss next week's show. Next Thursday's show is going to be a blockbuster. I didn't understand the density of the content that he wanted to go over, and I started looking through it and I'm like, Jimmy, I'm not prepared for that. Like, this is too cool. I want to get it right. And I want he and I to do more than just one show about this. It's going to be a bit of a series on Thursday nights right here. And you guys are going to learn how hard people are working on your behalf for not just their personal gain. I know he got a bad reputation for that years ago. What a joke, whatever. Anyway, I shouldn't tell anybody what to do. I don't denounce anybody for getting the money they get for what they do. Anyway, it's going to be a great show. I want to thank you guys. Wow, the chat was huge tonight, and so many people watching the live stream. I really love and appreciate you all. I hope you know that. I know I say that every show, and sometimes if somebody says something every time, it doesn't seem to sink in. I really, really appreciate you all, and I love you all as my fellow man, as I love myself. So are you loved. That is the beauty of why we're here. And when we pass and on the other side, you will be appreciated for the love that you shared with your fellow man. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate you all. And I will be seeing you soon. So have a great night.